It's Murphy Gray Hunter, and we are still Sunday night. It's about 11 o'clock, April 14th. Okay, so these 1, 2, 3, 4 books I got off of Amazon, and I'm not really sure how much they cost, because 3 I bought in bulk, and then 1 I added it with it, and it came out to like $54 and change. So I got these when my husband was here, and when my husband was here, I just put these in my office, because all my attention goes to my husband. So I did not even look at these books. So they've been sitting in my office here for, this is the 2nd week. So I'm super interested to start. I mean, I'm super excited to start reading these, and I'm really, really excited to show these to you guys. These books are on dark magic. So, the darker parts. So, if this doesn't pertain, if you don't like these types of books, then, maybe you can at least appreciate them for the beauty of the covers. Well, at least 3 of the covers I think are really nice. This first book is called The Book of Forbidden Knowledge, Black Magic, Superstition, Charms, and Divination. First edition, 1910s, Johnson Family and Company. New edition, 2016. This is a very small book. It's like 106 pages. This is more like a grimoire. This book here is from the end of the 1800s, well into the 1920s, containing materials related to all aspects of the occult, ceremonial magic, the black arts, talismans, and more. So this kind of contains a lot of different things, like I said, like a spell book or grimoire. But because this was back in the 1800s to 1910s, it's not as modern as some of the modern spell books are. So like here, for violent toothaches, you have something. To eye water, which makes eyesight clear, so no spectacles are needed. Talismans, so it shows you different talismans. This is just a book on lots of little information. If you like I like to collect spell books, grimoires, even if it's just something that's revised like this. Honestly, I'm not going to be able to get a hold of something old unless I have to like trade one of my organs for it or something. But books that have been revised or copies are just as fine, because that way I can look through them and read the information, because that's really all I want to do is read the information. And so little books like this I love. How to be a spirit medium. Signs taken from parts of the eyes. Okay. Murdered Reveal, Lucky Dreams, Folklores and Pins, Folklores of Pins, How to Make Your Lover or Sweetheart Come, Lucky Stones, like Come to You, Get Your Minds Out of the Gutter. I heard y'all. I heard y'all. Because I heard myself. Clouds, physical signs and omens, popular superstition, knocking on wood, charms, omens, and signs. So if this is not your, like I said, when I ordered the 3 in bulk, they have this one on the side. Like, girl, you want this one too? You can have it for like $6. I'm like, okay, put it in the basket. So, all right. The next book I got, this one I had no clue about, but because these 3 books that I got in bulk were all about the occult and black magic, dark arts, this book was on there. And I honestly thought it was a witch novel, because I also had witch novels in my cart, and I'm going to do another video showing y'all those when I'm done with this one. But anyway, I had never seen this book before. This book is called The Book of Smokeless Fire. Look at this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful book. I absolutely love the way it feels. And I look at that design. This book is a dark magic book. If you are one that does necromancy or the Necrocomic-Con, this is what this is like. This deals with dark magic. This is a particular type of magic that like I said, it's like the necromancy, like necronomicon. That's a hard word for me to get out. This book, this is broken out in two books. Book 1 is Origin of the Darkness. Book 2 is Summoning of the Infernal Jinn. Jinn or Jinni. That is the Arabian and Muslim in mythology. That is the jinn or the jinni, however you pronounce it. It is it's an intelligent spirit or like a lower rank. It's a lower rank of angels, and they're able to appear in humans and in animal forms, and it possesses a human. And if you want to know a little bit more about this, I mean, here's the 2 chapters, the 2 books, and there it is, the jinn. That, like I said, that is a Arabic and Muslim. So this coincides a lot with the Quran. So, you know, when you read certain books, it'll have the Christianity. It'll have a Christianity. Like if it refers to something religious, it'll have the Christianity Bible. This one is the Quran, and this is super interesting. I personally do not mess with this type of magic. That does not mean that I am not interested in it or want to have knowledge in it. I don't like working with the dead. Sure as hell, I'm not going to work with demons or with the jinn. Those particular spirits are very smart, but very monstrous. Okay, that's the word that I use. Now, some people, I know a few people who work with demons all the time, and they're like, oh yeah, I love working with demons. No. I don't do demons. I don't do zombies. No. My nerves are not built for that. I don't have a need or reason to practice such dark magic. You know, people who have read this book, the Book of the Smokeless Fire. People who have read this book and practice this particular type of magic, you have to be some, this is a guy here who wrote the book. I definitely would suggest you look this book up, look at a review, watch videos of people who have read this book, who do practice this type of magic, because this is no joke. This is no joke. You have to be very open-minded. You have to be ready for what you are about to summon. So, you know, there are certain rituals and, you know, things that they teach you in this book that you can practice. And again, you know how they say there are a special kind of people out there that work with sick children or with the elderly or with special needs. There are a certain type of people who work with demons and, you know, or jinns, particular darker spirits. So, and I am not one of those. You know, that type of stuff, you know, it's kind of, for me, when people ask me, how come you don't work with demons, you know, and knowing that how much I am very eclectic and love, you know, I read the Quran, and I think it's a beautiful book. Always ask me, how come you don't, you know, try to summon a jinn? And I'm just like, oh no. My life is not like that. I don't have hateful people in my life, or I don't feel a need to do something like that. It's almost like snakes. Here's my analogy, like snakes. I can see snakes for the beauty of the snake, as far as, you know, I love animals, but I look at a snake and I think, you know, it's beautiful. Like some snakes are, if you look up snakes and you see all the different types of snakes and the patterns of a snake, they're quite beautiful. It's like butterflies. They're all different patterns and stuff, right? But, you know, you never even though some people own snakes and they wrap them around their necks and, oh, I just love them, they just cuddle, they just love me. No, they just tolerating you. Because a snake is a snake. It's always going to strike you if it just feels like it, or if it's not handled correctly. You know, normally, I don't think that they want to be like that, but if you do something, or if it's just a bad day, or whatever it is, you know, there are some things that you just, what I'm trying to say is that I don't, me personally, but again, I've never had a snake. I don't think that you can domesticate a snake. I don't think you can. I honestly don't think you can. I could be wrong. But just also with demons and working with jinns, those particular types of spirits, I just don't think that you can work with them, like, you know, control them. Why would you want to? But anyway, the Book of Smokeless Fire. So if what I'm talking to you about right now piques your interest, then I suggest you get this book. I think this book was like $20, I think, or $19. I'm not sure. But like I said, oh, did I do a thumb through? These seals right here are the different 72 different jinns that you would be working with or invoking. Let me see what it starts with. The Conjuring of the Eternal Black Flame. Oh, okay. The 72 Infernal Jinn. So, okay. So what this is, this tells you about each jinn. So each spirit. So here's the name of it, and it gives you a description of what it looks like, and this is the seal. The sigil. I'm sorry, this is the sigil. And so that's how it goes. But yeah, if you're interested in doing this particular type of magic, then pick up this book, and please be sure that this is something that you are strong enough to do, something that you feel that there's a need to do. And if you just want to pick it up just to have knowledge, great. But if you plan on practicing this, please be careful. Please be careful. But anyway, that is that one, the Book of Smokeless Fire. All right. And again, y'all don't be mad that I'm showing this book, because I know y'all want, like, Murphy, don't be showing this kind of book. You know, my thing is like this. I like to share with you guys, because, you know, everybody has a different type of like and dislikes. Everybody has a different path. And for me, dark, you know, the black arts, dark magic, I don't consider magic being white, black, gray. You know, I always say magic is what the intent of the witch is, you know, and it really is what you make it to be. So for me, I completely seek knowledge in all different parts of magic in different parts of the world, religious or spiritual. And so something like this to me is super interesting. And like I said, I would never use it, but it's nice to have the knowledge of it, and to see, you know, what else is out there other than just what you practice, you know. And there could be somebody who's watching and who does this particular type of magic. And if you are one of those kind of people who practice this type of magic, I would love to know, like, they say that when you practice this type of magic, that you really do get, when you work with demons and jinns, these particular types of spirits, you do get your desires. But I wonder at what cost. I wonder what, I want to know more. Like, I think what I would like to have is a book on who people who do this particular type of magic, what they get, what it's like, what they encounter, and what happens. Like, what there has to be pros and cons. So, you know, I would like to know that. I'd like to watch a video. I think I need to look and see if I can find some videos of people talking about that, or a book. You know, that would be quite interesting. You know, because we read and we watch videos about how people, their pros and cons and what happens before, during, and after, what they give, what they sacrifice, what they gain, you know, from all different types of religious practices and spiritual practices. So this is one that I'm super interested about, and I would love to hear all of that. Okay, the next book I got is the 50th anniversary edition of the Black Arts by Richard Cavendish. Now you guys probably have this book already. It's this is the this is the last one that I got. This is the same book, but this is the 50th anniversary edition. I love the way the cover looked. It's the same exact book. So if you have this one, that's the same one. I've read this book before. You know, I've read this one before. It's really, really, really good. This one has, this book covers witchcraft, demonology, astrology, and other mystical practices throughout the ages. Again, it's so interesting. This covers, this has 7 chapters. The first chapter is the world of the Black Magician. And then chapter 2 is names and numbers. Chapter 3, the Kabbalah and the name of power. Did I say that right? Kabbalah? Kabbalah. The Kabbalah of the names of power. Chapter 4, the stone and the elixir. Chapter 5, astrology. Chapter 6, the ritual magic. And chapter 7, the worship of the devil. The appendix 1 is the grimoires. Appendix 2 is the Hebrew system and numerology. And then it has diagrams here. So it has like 16 diagrams in here. And on the page that it's on, and it tells you what it is, like the pentagram of Solomon, the double seal of Solomon, the moon circle, the simple birth chart, you know, and on and on. Again, this book is super interesting. There's not a lot of pictures in here, just other than the diagrams, but it does cover all of those things I talked about. These books are on dark magic, the black arts, and the rituals and the foundations of alchemy, and it's super interesting. I mean, it's a super interesting book. This has 330 pages, 322 pages, and then of course the last few pages are the appendix, what am I thinking? The grimoires and the Hebrew numerology, and about the author in the back. But yeah, it's full of information. Again, see, just lots and lots of information. I read this some time ago. I'll probably skim through it again because it was a good book. It really was. The stone and the elixir was really good. I really liked this part. But yeah, you know, there's nothing wrong with reading books on dark magic. It really isn't. I really think it's just really just you know, keeping you building your knowledge. You know, we're witches, and we that is what we practice. Whether you practice, you know, this or that, I mean, I think to be very well-rounded and have a great foundation on the craft, you really should read about all different types. Even like if you're not Wiccan, you know, you're like, oh, I'm not Wiccan. But there's a lot of great information in Wiccan books, you know, lots and lots of great information. One thing I like about the Wiccan traditions and the rituals that they do is they really do honor Mother Nature and our universe. I think that's a beautiful thing. So, all right, now, the last book that I got is one of my favorite, and I think this book was $20, like $19. This says $19, but I don't, like, again, like I got these in bulk. This last book, oh my God, it's so beautiful. I've been wanting this book. This book is called The Occult Book, and it's a chronological journey from alchemy to Wicca by John Michael Greer. This book is so freaking beautiful. Oh my goodness, right? This book here, what I really love about this book, it's a hardcover, and it's blue with gold. Oh, it's so pretty. Look at the inside. Look how beautiful that is. So pretty. Now, let me tell you about this book. This book is a very, very fast read, okay? Because even though it's a really thick book, this book has, well, not super thick. It looks thick. Like 200 pages, right? Okay, so the table of contents, I'm not going to read all the table of contents, but it goes in chronological order, meaning that this book starts in the 6th century BCE. So 6th century before Common Era, and it goes all the way to 2012. So this book here has, like I said, in chronological order of every single, this has every single year that we have up until it was published in 2012, but it talks about the occult and how it's played its part in our society, in our world. So what's really cool about this book is that you would find things in this book that you wouldn't even think, like the death of Plato. Okay, so here you have the image on this side, a very, very pretty image on this side, and then you have a brief summary of whatever the title is, and how this is some part of the occult. And so, like I said, it starts off with the very first one. It starts 6th century BCE. So this has, let me find another one. Like here, the first horoscope, late 5th century BCE. So it shows you an image of the first horoscope and then how it started, like a brief history of it. Have you ever thought about like who created or started the horoscope? Like, where did that come from? How did that play part of our, because they consider that being the occult. The occult has this big umbrella. It's the occult, and then there's so many things that go underneath it. Like, the alchemists, even the death of Jesus made it in this book, in this 33 CE. It has a picture here of Jesus on the cross, and then a brief information here on how that played. The inventions of ruins, magic on trial. There's just so much stuff. I think what I'm going to do is turn the camera around, or maybe I'll try to show different, or thumb through it or somehow. It's a beautiful book, and again, this is really, if you are a knowledge seeker, like you just love to gain knowledge and read about all kinds of things, or if you're into history, especially when it comes to the occult, I mean, this is such a great book to have in your library. And because like, this is one of my favorite ones, The Philosopher's Stone. Because it's such an easy read, you'll get through this fast, because like I said, you're looking at the image and then you're reading about, this is Philosopher's Stone, and it talks to you about the Philosopher's Stone, and it tells you here 1382, and that's it. Once you read that, boom, you're done. You go on to something else, The Origin of the Tarot. So if this is something that you're interested in, like if you're reading about the Philosopher's Stone and you're sitting here reading, you're like, oh wow, that sounds interesting, then you can do more research on the Philosopher's Stone. And so it has here the great trials, the witch trials began. I mean, so much. The Legend of Foss. Casting spells for the Pope. There's just so much. Tracing the Tarot to Egypt. About the Druids. Thomas Taylor. The Voodoo Queen. Marie Laveau, she made it in here too. So, like I said, the first Hoodoo drugstore. Again, I have not looked at this book in great detail. Aleister Crowley, he made it in here. I knew he was going to make it in here. I read his book, he has several books that he's written, but he's another, I love like reading Stephen King because I love the way his mind works. And let me tell you, a lot of people have given Aleister Crowley like a really bad, you know, bad rap because of, you know, the occult, you know, of what he wrote about. But let me tell you, it's super interesting. If you can see past, you know, like I think some people don't find the beauty in, the work, other than just looking at the title and automatically, you know, placing judgment. If you could just, you know, appreciate the work that went into it and what this person is talking about. Doesn't mean you have to agree with it, but, you know, definitely is interesting. I think that's just because I love I love to see how people's minds work. That's why I love talking to people, because I love to see how they think, what they think, how they think. I'm a people person. And everything is tied into the occult. Okay, so if you're interested in this book and you want me to do a page by page flip through, let me know. I will definitely put my phone in the I don't even know what you call it, the little tripod, and I will literally lay the book down and I will do page by page if you want to see. I'm not going to do that now because maybe some people don't want to see, you know, a flip through of 200 pages. But I just think this is a very, very beautiful book, and definitely a book worth buying and keeping in your library. I honestly, this says here $19.95 US. So I'm pretty sure I spent about that much on it on Amazon. But this book, and this book, and this book, these 4 books were 54 and change on Amazon, because these 3 books here I got on a bundle, and then I just threw in this one. So, all right, guys, I hope you enjoyed these books. I have books on so many different things, like I said, and this is just so interesting. The Black Arts is really a good book. But again, if you are not the kind of person who likes to read books that have no pictures, like if you're a type of person that reading something like this is going to kill you because you're just not a reader, like, you know, I have several friends that are just not into these types of books. They're like, throw me some pictures, I need some pictures, you know. So that's why I always try to show the inside. But this book here has beautiful, beautiful, beautiful photos in it. So, you know, it's not a hard read at all. All right, so that's 2 stacks books down. I have another stack of books back there. Those are my witch novels. I'm gonna be doing those next, and maybe depending on how, if I'm getting tired of making videos, I'm going to also show my hoodoo books. I did a video some time ago showing my hoodoo books, maybe a couple of years ago, but I've added to it, and I was showing a friend of mine all my hoodoo books, and you know, before I put them up, I thought about, let me just make a video showing them again, just in case you guys are interested in the new editions, or if you've never seen my other video. So, all right, let me get off, and then I'm going to do another video showing my witch novels. All right, guys, as always, love you all, and blessed be. Bye.